Listen, it's good for the business of the NFL because obviously you have a television contract that's facilitated you having that to begin with. So we definitely understand why the NFL did that because they're greedy. They're all about the money. This is the same league that's going to charge somebody else to perform for them. For Super Bowl for the Super Bowl halftime show. It ain't the other way around. So we understand that they're all about the bottom line, which is about the dollars, and we get that. So nobody can poo-poo it from that perspective and acknowledge or fail to acknowledge that it doesn't work to the benefit of the NFL. But for the fans, as far as I'm concerned, I just think it's a waste of time. I really, really do. I know there's a lot of folks that love the NFL. NFL is king. We get all of that. We look forward to the games. But Sundays is practically a religion, for crying out loud. I mean, people dictate their church schedule around the NFL. They try to go to church a little bit early during the football season so they can make sure they get back in time for some of the pregame shows and obviously the games itself. The game is meant to be played on Sundays and Monday nights. I have always been an adversary, an opponent of the games being played on Thursdays because I really, really believe that it's egregious on the part of some of the players. Some of these guys simply ain't ready. We talk about how violent the sport of football is, how much the health of the players should be a concern to us all. It's clearly something that has been elocuted by Commissioner Roger Goodell as it pertains to the health and the well-being of these players. Well, you got a game on Sunday and then you're playing on Thursday night. It doesn't matter that you got 10 days off after that. It's those 3 games in between, one game to the next. That could do you excessive harm. You saw Josh Sitton, for the Packers, speak on it prior to last night's game about how the Thursday night games stink. And I completely agree with them. I don't think there's any need for it whatsoever. I just think it's the NFL showing its gluttonous ways, and it's really unfortunate because I don't think it works to the benefit of the players. The game should be played on Sundays and Mondays.
This is an absurd question, and it's about to get to be an absurd argument. On your part, not that this is unusual, that was a knee-jerk, wrong-headed overreaction to yet another Thursday night blowout that we've seen this year, but only this year on Thursday night football. I am here to tell you I love Thursday night football, and if I were an NFL player, I would love Thursday night football because you just glossed over the fact that, as Aaron Rodgers said after last night's game, they're going to have a nice long little weekend here. It creates a mini bye. It is definitely pay me now so you don't have to pay later. And trust me, these teams are going to welcome having 10 days off to get ready for the next game. I realize it puts a lot of pressure, especially on a coaching staff, to get ready for this game. But Stephen A., you know, I spent many years in Dallas, Texas. And many, many other NFL teams have been resentful of, jealous of the Dallas Cowboys for continuing to be grandfathered into that late afternoon slot on Thanksgiving Day. And Dallas loves it because Dallas knows if they win that game at home, they get a mini bye leading into what they would hope to be a December to remember. But I have no problem with it because these blowouts, remember, one blowout was your Giants on the road at the Redskins. And I even look back at just last year and I say, wow, there are a bunch of close games last year. Remember New England beating the Jets barely in the rain 13-10? Remember the Bears beating your Giants barely 27-21? Dolphins over Bengals in overtime just last year. Colts won at Tennessee 30-27. Do you remember New Orleans winning at Atlanta 17-13? And how about that last game of the Thursday night year? San Diego winning at Denver 27-20 on great Thursday night football. And who could forget one of the greatest Thursday night games ever? Tebow over the Jets on a Thursday. Remember that one? Stephen A., this is nothing. It's not like this is the first year for Thursday night football. It's been going on regularly since 2011, and it started back in 2006.
And you know, the interesting part about it, Skip, is that you conveniently leave out the fact that because of the CBA, there's less practice time. There's a lot of times that these coaches are complaining about in terms of the absence of time to prepare to prepare these guys, etc. They've pointed to all of those things. And keep in mind, the players aren't a proponent of this. Sometimes you acquiesce and concede to the inevitable because during collective bargaining negotiations, you want to get your money. And the NFL and their owners definitely press you to do most of the things that they want to do. Just look at the agreement and you'll see that I'm telling the truth. In the end, that doesn't mean that it's to the benefit of the players. The point is that obviously for people like yourself who lives, eat, and breathes the NFL, you would feel that way. But the reality is that the players themselves, do they feel that way? By and large, they do not. They're acquiescing and capitulating to the wishes of the owners who don't have to put on pads and helmets and go out there and put their bodies on the line. Neither do you, nor myself, I might add. So we take that into consideration, and that's what it is. Skip Bayless, you're not going to die if there are no games on Thursdays. You've got college football on Saturdays. You've got NFL football on Sundays and Mondays. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It wouldn't be the end of the world. You, like the NFL, is gluttonous. I'm surprised you're not fat, for crying out loud, considering how gluttonous you're trying to be about the NFL. This is what you are. And by the way, I might add, you're also inconsiderate. You're inconsiderate because you're not thinking about these players you love to watch every week. You're sitting there and you're throwing them to the wolves. You have no regard for them and their well-being whatsoever. All you care about is getting your football on Thursday night. You probably stayed up and watched that whole boring, pathetic game last night. And I ponder why that is, considering who is quarterbacking for the Vikings. This is what it is, man. This is what it is. And to me, it's just a waste as far as I'm concerned. You do not need football on a Thursday night. You just want it because you, like the NFL, with your gluttonous ways, are just living fat and happy off of these players that you seem to give less than a damn about.